Welcome back to Jersey Matters. A Livingston, New Jersey man spent 55 days on a ventilator battling COVID-19, and he doesn't remember most of it. Luckily, NJ.com did a wonderful story documenting almost every single day. And we spoke with Michael Somekh about the fight for his life that he doesn't remember. Hi, thanks so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. By the way, you look great.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
How do you feel?
I feel great. I feel great. I have, it's almost 6 weeks since I'm out of the hospital, out of Kessler, actually. And on Saturday, I went back to my house. I was staying with my sister for the previous 5 weeks at her house. So
Let's go through your story. When did you start feeling ill?
the day I drove myself to the hospital was March 18th. In the afternoon, I just felt really bad, very tired. I had a cough, I had a fever, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So on that Wednesday, March 18th, I got in my car and drove myself to the St. Barnabas emergency room. There I stayed for a while.
How did you suspect at that point you had COVID-19?
I thought I did. I thought I probably had it at that point. And so like I said, March 18th, I walked in the emergency room and they took me right into a side room that had this big fan, and the nurse had all that, her gear on. They took my temperature, and that's where they did a COVID test. I stayed over that night in the emergency room on the 18th, and then I guess my condition deteriorated on Sunday, May 22nd. March 22nd was the day that I was intubated.
And when did you lose time? When did your memory stop?
I don't remember going on the ventilator, but apparently they asked me for my consent, and I said yes. So, but I don't remember that at all. And I don't really remember anything from the time that I was on the ventilator until 55 days forward, where I remember a nurse saying, "Michael, wake up, Michael, wake up." And I guess I opened my eyes and she said, "Do you know where you are?" And I said, no, I had no idea. I mean, I looked around, I'm sure she said you're in the hospital, but you know, those couple of days after are still a little foggy for me.
It's almost a blessing that you don't remember, because you were probably going through some excruciating moments, but it had to be hell for your family.
It was. I'm glad, you know, what I told my family, as horrible as it was, I really didn't feel any pain. I mean, I had 2 chest tubes, I had a feeding tube put in, I had the tracheotomy, but I didn't feel any pain, any of that. I mean, the article on NJ.com that came out yesterday gives a better perspective, and it actually taught me a lot. I mean, I had heard a lot from my family and my good friend Steve Bernstein, who I grew up with. A few days after I woke up, I asked him, how long was I on the ventilator? And he said, "Do you really want me to tell you?" Because I really had no idea. And I said, "What, a couple of weeks, maybe a month?" He said 55 days, and I was pretty shocked.
Yeah, it is truly an amazing story. They don't know what saved your life. They tried so many treatments, they're not sure exactly what did it, right?
They don't really know. I mean, I think a lot of people think it's the plasma that they gave me, but it could have been a combination of all the other drugs.
And it was convalescent plasma that already has the antibodies, because those people
Correct.
that had that blood had survived COVID-19. And they tried that after several things, and you started improving after that.
After that, I started improving.
You hear these stories about people that have near-death experiences, and even though you don't remember it, you had one, that have a new look on life. They see things a little clearer. They want to achieve more. They want to love more. Has any of that happened to you yet?
I think for me, it's, you know, you got to live every day like it's your last, because you never know. I've told my kids that before. I said things happen in life that sometimes aren't happy things. So you have to be happy for what you have, love your family, and, hopefully you have good luck in your life and things like this don't happen. I mean, I somehow got lucky and got through it, but other people with COVID and other things haven't been so lucky. People have asked me, well, why'd you do the story? Why did you put it on Facebook and want people to know? You know what, for two reasons. First of all, it's a good story in a bad time in this world. And second of all, you know what, I wanted to give hope to some people that have a loved one that's in the hospital with COVID, and, maybe they feel like, this is the end. Look, my family felt like it was the end in the middle of that, and I made it through. So it's one of, I guess, few good stories, and people should have hope that hopefully the doctors and these hospitals are learning more and able to treat this disease better.
Your daughter's right there?
One of my daughters is.
Can she come in and just say hi? We heard what it was from his perspective. From you, how hard was this?
Yeah, it was definitely not easy. Definitely something I never could have imagined going through, especially not being able to visit and go see him and, hold his hand. And even if he was asleep, just supposedly you can still hear. So, we couldn't be there, and it was just tough every day. Waking up from my aunt's text, he's the same, everything's the same, nothing's changed. So, but like he said, it's really important to stay hopeful, because it's possible to come out of this.
Really appreciate you spending the time. Keep well, keep your family well, and we'll be checking up on you every once in a while. That was Michael Somekh from Livingston, New Jersey, who survived COVID-19. You can read about him on NJ.com. I suggest you find the story. It's wonderful. Are you looking for something to do? May I suggest whale watching? That's next on Jersey Matters.